You're watching a 20-year-old Ukrainian board a one-way flight to America. Wire-rim glasses. Nervous laugh. Looks like he should be debugging code in a dorm room, not sitting in first class with 2 FBI escorts. He thinks he's about to become Silicon Valley's next success story, but exactly in 7 hours and 23 minutes, he'll be in handcuffs. Meet Maksym Popov. Yesterday, he walked into the US Embassy in London with an offer. Eastern European hacking secrets in exchange for the American dream. For 4 months, he's been negotiating this deal. A new identity, a legitimate job, maybe even seed funding for a startup. The agents promised him everything, and they lied. The second Popov's feet touch US soil at JFK, the smiles vanish. The friendly agents who bought him drinks in London, they snap on handcuffs. The visa they promised? It's actually an arrest warrant. Instead of a welcome party, he gets an isolation cell. But here's what the FBI missed. They just taught their prisoner the most valuable lesson in cybercrime. If the good guys lie this well, imagine what the bad guys can do. But who is this kid who just got played by the FBI? Zhytomyr, Ukraine, 1995. While American kids are playing Nintendo, 15-year-old Maksym Popov discovers something more addictive: stealing money from people who'll never know his name. His first victims are classmates. Fake homework sold to lazy students. By 16, he's running a small criminal empire from his bedroom. But Max is ambitious. Ukrainian kids don't have much money. American adults do. 1999. Max joins the Expert Group of Protection Against Hackers. Despite the official name, it's a criminal organization with Eastern Europe's most skilled cybercriminals. His specialty? Social engineering. Manipulating humans into revealing passwords and installing malware. He calls American companies, pretends to be tech support, and tricks employees into compromising their own security. Within months, he's stealing hundreds of thousands from victims who never realize they've been robbed. By 2000, the FBI knows his name. They know where he lives. They know he's stolen millions from American victims, but they can't touch him. Max operates from Ukraine, with no extradition treaty. So they create fake job opportunities at American tech companies, professional websites, convincing job descriptions, salaries that would make any Ukrainian programmer pack his bags immediately. The trap works. Max takes the bait and contacts the US Embassy in London. He thinks he's negotiating legitimate employment opportunities with American technology firms. He has no idea he's actually negotiating his own arrest with federal law enforcement agents. But Max is about to learn something the FBI doesn't expect. Getting caught doesn't mean getting beaten. Sometimes it means getting educated about how your enemies really operate. And Maksym Popov is a very fast learner. Virginia Safe House, Spring 2001. For 3 months, Popov plays along. Every morning at 8 a.m., agents escort him from a Virginia safe house to a monitoring station. They watch him log into Russian hacker forums. They record everything. They think they're gathering intelligence. But what happens next will cost them everything. In slang-filled Russian that his FBI minders can't understand, Popov types a simple message to his old crew. Dia dia Sam Smotrit. Uncle Sam is watching. He warns every major player in the underground that he's been compromised. 3 months. Hundreds of warnings. 0 FBI agents who speak street Russian. When FBI linguists finally translate the chat logs in April, one agent literally throws a chair across the room. Their star informant has been burning them since day 1. They storm the safe house, strip away his privileges, and throw him in county jail. As the cell door slams, Popov doesn't beg. He doesn't plead. He just smiles and delivers those 8 prophetic words.
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
2,400 miles away in Santa Ana, California, one FBI agent sees opportunity where others see disaster. E.J. Hilbert has been tracking Eastern European hackers for 3 years. He knows something his colleagues don't. You can't catch wolves with sheepdogs. You need another wolf. Summer 2002. Hilbert makes Popov an offer that sounds insane. Help the FBI infiltrate the world's largest cybercrime forum and walk free. One condition? Popov works from a jail cell by day, hunts hackers by night. Welcome to Operation Ant City, where the FBI's newest weapon is also their biggest liability. This forum is crazy. 10,000 criminals gathered in one place, buying and selling stolen lives like Pokemon cards. That place is CarderPlanet. And in 2002, it's the Amazon of identity theft. Credit cards for $1. Social security numbers for $5. Entire identities, with mothers' maiden names, childhood addresses, and first pet names, $30. Shipping included. This is where Popov must rebuild his reputation from scratch. Not as an informant, as the biggest buyer in the game. The FBI gives him $50,000 and a simple mission: shop till they drop. Every purchase is a trap. When criminals send stolen cards to Popov's fake address, they've committed a federal crime. Hilbert traces each card back to its original breach. One purchase leads to a hacked hotel chain, 50,000 guests exposed. Another reveals a department store bleeding customer data for 6 months. It's brilliant, it's working, and it's about to get personal. Thanksgiving Day 2002. While you're eating turkey with your family, Popov sits alone in an FBI conference room. No visitors allowed. Officially, he doesn't exist. Hilbert walks in, carrying something that makes Popov's eyes water. A full Thanksgiving feast. Turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, even pumpkin pie. Then Hilbert does something unprecedented. He wheels in a projector and starts playing The Lord of the Rings. For 3 hours, they don't talk about crime. They don't discuss cases. They just watch hobbits save the world while eating pie. Popov later calls this the moment everything changed. Not because of the food, because for the first time since landing in America, someone treated him like a human being instead of an asset. That night, he makes a decision that will eventually bring down CarderPlanet's founder. Script is what they call him, but his real name and his location are unknown. Only one thing is certain. He co-founded CarderPlanet and personally handles the forum's biggest deals. Popov spends 6 weeks building a relationship, pretending to be a Ukrainian middleman with connections to corrupt bank employees. Finally, Script agrees to a test purchase. $400 worth of premium cards. The package arrives at FBI headquarters wrapped in Ukrainian newspaper. Inside, 200 credit cards that were stolen just 72 hours earlier. But Script made one fatal mistake. He included a handwritten note. Hilbert runs the handwriting through international databases and bingo. Script is actually Roman Vega and he lives in Odessa. 6 months later, Ukrainian police knock on his door at 4 a.m. He serves 6 months, a slap on the wrist, but the message ripples through the underground. Nobody is untouchable. By April 2003, Ant City has prevented $70 million in fraud. But here's what success really costs. Can you turn a criminal into a hero without them remembering they're still a criminal? April 15, 2003. A federal judge looks at Popov's file, 8 months of successful undercover work, Gen A.N., and makes a decision that shocks the prosecution. Time served, effective immediately. Popov walks out of court a free man. The FBI gives him $1,000 a month and an apartment near Huntington Beach. They think they own him. But you can't cage someone who's already learned to pick the lock. February 2003. 8 million credit card numbers just got stolen from Data Processing International. That's not a typo. 8 million. If you stack the printouts, they'd reach the 40th floor of a building. The FBI is panicking. Then, Popov gets a message from someone calling themselves Rez. I know who has the cards. I can broker the entire database. Interested? Rez is 21 years old, lives with his mom in St. Petersburg, and just made the mistake of his life. He thinks he's talking to a fellow criminal. He's actually negotiating with the FBI's secret weapon. But RES has a point. Why would a small-time buyer suddenly want $200,000 worth of stolen cards? Popov needs to prove he's legitimate. What happens next looks like a scene from a heist movie, except it's real and your tax dollars paid for it. Inside a secure vault in Bank of America, Los Angeles, the FBI has $200,000 in $100 bills. The mission: make Popov look like Tony Soprano. FBI agents stack the cash in neat pyramids while Popov practices his lines in Russian. The camera rolls. Popov grabs a stack, fans it like a poker hand, holds a bill to the light.
See the watermarks? This is real American money, ready to transfer.
He tosses bundles around like they're notebooks. The entire performance lasts 47 seconds. It works perfectly. But Popov wants more than just RES's cards. He wants his real name. So he invents a company, Hermes Plast, a credit card manufacturing firm that needs security consultants. He builds a website, creates email accounts, even writes fake employee bios. Then he casually mentions to RES that they're hiring and their starting salary is $70,000. Rez practically breaks his keyboard typing up his resume. Full name, address, passport scan. He even includes references. The FBI tech watching this unfold actually laughs out loud. Did this kid just apply for a job at his own sting operation? Within 72 hours, RES's real name, Denis Sokolov, MC, has an Interpol red notice. Within 72 weeks, he'll be arrested. But something else happens in that vault with the money. Popov realizes he's not just catching criminals anymore. He's becoming the FBI's greatest success story. In 2 weeks, he'll walk free. And in 2 years, he'll make them pay for everything. One question determines everything that follows. What do you do when your attack dog remembers it's actually a wolf? And why would a hacker who just earned his freedom immediately start planning his biggest hack yet? Huntington Beach, California, summer 2003. Max's FBI-subsidized apartment overlooks the Pacific Ocean. He drives a BMW, wears designer clothes, and lives the California dream on taxpayer money. He starts a security consulting company called Sichos and begins marketing to American corporations that have been hacked. His pitch: I have connections in the international hacking community who can help recover your stolen data. What these companies don't know is that Max often has connections to their attackers because he helped plan the attacks. His business model is a protection racket disguised as cybersecurity consulting. Ukrainian hackers steal corporate data. American companies panic. Max offers to negotiate with the criminals for a fee. Then he collects payment from both sides. It's like hiring an arsonist to run your fire department, except the arsonist has official government endorsements. The FBI has no idea what Max is really doing. In their files, he's a success story, a reformed cybercriminal helping them catch international hackers. But Max is about to escalate beyond anything the FBI has seen before, and he's going to use their own networks to do it. The opportunity comes on New Year's Eve 2004, when Max makes a phone call that will either make him rich or destroy the FBI agent who trusted him. Hilbert's phone rings at 11:47 p.m. You can hear champagne glasses clinking in the background. Popov's voice cuts through the celebration. Check your email. The FBI just got hacked. Not a small breach. Not a minor incident. Someone has root access to every email ending in FBI.gov, every agent, every case, and every confidential informant. All of it compromised through something called X. And 25, a networking protocol from 1976 that nobody bothered to update. Except Popov. And he's offering to fix it for a price. The files Popov sends make Hilbert's blood freeze. The first one is an 11-page dossier on a mob boss the FBI is building a RICO case against. The seventh is a spreadsheet of every hacker the FBI and Secret Service are hunting, sorted by jurisdiction, with notes like cooperating witness and surveillance authorized. The header on every page screams in bold letters, "Do not transmit over internet." Yet, here it is, pulled straight from FBI.gov email servers. Someone at the bureau actually typed those words, then emailed the document anyway. The irony is physically painful. Within 6 hours, Hilbert is on a plane to DC. Within 12 hours, he's in a room with the FBI director. Then, the White House Chief of Staff is demanding answers. The bureau cuts a check to Popov's new company, Sichos, for $10,000. It's the first time in FBI history they've paid a foreign national who skipped probation to solve their own security breach. Nobody asks the obvious question: how did Popov know about this so fast? Here's what $10,000 buys you. Popov identifies the hacker as Leonid Sokolov, provides his address in St. Petersburg, and even arranges an introduction. Hilbert goes undercover in a Russian hacker chat. Within 3 messages, Sokolov is bragging about the FBI breach. Within 10 messages, he's explaining exactly how he did it. Within 20 messages, he's offering to sell more stolen FBI files. It's the easiest confession Hilbert has ever gotten. Too easy. But when you're drowning, you don't question the life preserver. The FBI issues a sealed indictment. Interpol adds Sokolov to their watch list. Hilbert even writes Popov an official letter of commendation on FBI letterhead, praising his invaluable assistance to the United States. Popov posts it on his company website immediately. He's now officially an FBI-endorsed security consultant. What could possibly go wrong? The hack. February 10th, 2005. FBI headquarters, Washington, D.C. An agent opens a secure email attachment and his face goes white. He's staring at something that shouldn't exist. VMware source code worth $500 million. Stolen from EMC Corporation just days earlier. The sender? Dennis Pinhouse, an alias used by someone offering to help contain the breach. EMC heard it differently. They heard extortion. Who is Dennis Pinhouse? The prosecutor's voice crackles through the speakerphone. 5. FBI executives stare at Hilbert. He has exactly 3 seconds to decide: protect his source or save his career. He can't do both. Dennis Pinhouse is Popov's alias. Yesterday, under that name, he contacted EMC Corporation about their stolen source code. His offer sounded like charity. I can help contain your breach. EMC heard extortion. Pay me, or your code goes public. They called the FBI's Boston office. Now Boston wants blood. They think they've uncovered a protection racket run by an FBI informant. They're right. They're also wrong. The truth is worse than anything they imagine. Give us his real name. The prosecutor's demand hangs in the air like a blade. Hilbert calculates the damage, expose Popov and lose every investigation he's connected to, or protect Popov and lose his badge. In the silence, someone mentions Whitey Bulger, the Boston mobster whose FBI handler went to prison for corruption. The comparison is clear. Hilbert is either corrupt or incompetent. Maybe both. No. Hilbert's refusal comes out harder than intended. He's actively working on sensitive operations. Exposing him would compromise national security. True, but incomplete. The whole truth. Hilbert knows Popov is probably guilty. He also knows Popov is the only reason they caught the FBI hackers. But 72 hours later, Hilbert is under investigation for conspiracy, wire fraud, and obstruction of justice. His computer is seized. His files are audited. His phone records are subpoenaed. Colleagues who used to grab coffee now avoid eye contact. The hero of Operation Ant City has become radioactive. Meanwhile, in Ukraine, Popov collects his EMC payment, $30,000 wired directly to his account, with another $40,000 promised if the code stays private for 4 years. He's literally holding Fortune 500 companies hostage with their own data. The fall of a hero. Here's the detail that breaks Hilbert. His 5-year-old daughter asks why daddy seems sad all the time. He can't tell her the truth. That daddy trusted the wrong person. And now, daddy might go to jail. The FBI doesn't know about Popov's EMC payment. EMC doesn't mention it. Everyone is lying to everyone, and Hilbert is the only one paying the price. August 2006. Hilbert's supervisor calls him in. The promotion he's worked toward for 8 years has been denied. The reason? Pending investigation. There's a clear translation here. You're done. After months of watching his career dissolve in slow motion, Hilbert makes the only choice left. He places his badge and gun on his supervisor's desk. Badge number 4982. Glock 23. Serial number RK291. 15 years of service ended by a Ukrainian kid he tried to help. The investigation finds no evidence of wrongdoing. The DOJ quietly drops all charges in 2009, but you can't unfire yourself from the FBI. Hilbert becomes a private security consultant, the kind companies hire when they've been hacked and don't trust law enforcement. He's good at it, he's successful, he never forgets. But 2 questions haunt him every night. What kind of person destroys the only friend they have? And what if Popov's betrayal went deeper than anyone imagined? The confession. 2012. After 7 years of silence, Hilbert's phone rings. The caller ID shows a Ukrainian number. You already know who it is.
I wanted to thank you
Popov's voice is older, quieter.
for the Thanksgiving dinner, for treating me like a person. You were the only friend I had.
The words hit Hilbert like a confession at a funeral. Too late to matter, too honest to ignore. They talk for 3 hours. Popov has a family now, claims he's gone legitimate, says he's sorry about what happened. Then, almost casually, he drops the bomb.
You know I was the one who hacked the FBI, right?
There's a silence, the kind that makes your ears ring. Hilbert's mind races through 5 years of clues he missed. Popov keeps talking, each word another twist of the knife. Leonid Sokolov and I did it together. We used the X-25 vulnerability to breach AT&T's data center. We pulled the FBI files. Then I sold the solution back to you for $10,000. Sokolov confessed to you because I paid him to. The whole thing was my operation. Think about that. The FBI paid the hacker who robbed them to catch himself. They gave him a commendation letter for solving his own crime. They destroyed their best agent's career, protecting the person who played them all. It's not just a con, it's performance art. Popov orchestrated every beat. The breach, the discovery, the investigation, the solution. He wrote the script and cast himself as both villain and hero. Were you suspicious? Popov asks, genuinely curious. Hilbert admits the truth.
Sometimes. But I wanted to believe you'd changed.
This is the cruelest part. Hilbert wasn't naive. He was hopeful. He saw potential in a lost kid and tried to save him. Popov saw an opportunity and took everything he could. Both of them were right. Both of them were wrong.